Oh hey, so we are officially in 2019 and wish you all a very happy new year. So 2018 was special for me because I started the YouTube channel for TQnet, and I want to take a moment and thank each and every one of you who became a part of the TQnet family. I promise 2019 will be more tech and more fun. So make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already and become the part of the TQnet family. So now let's get to the video. So this video will be about
Poco phone beats Galaxy Note 9, and then Poco phone beat iPhone 10.
Yes, the Poco F1. I'm sure most of you have watched that amazing ultimate blind smartphone test that MKBHD uploaded a few weeks back. If you haven't checked it out, I'll leave a card. Go check out that video, it's amazing. So in that video, as you all saw, the Poco F1 actually beat iPhone 10 and the Galaxy Note 9 when it comes to photos. So I had a chance to get my hands on the Poco F1 for a couple of hours through a friend the other day. So I thought, why not just put it up against the OnePlus 60 and see if the camera on the Poco F1 is actually comparable to the flagships like the OnePlus 60. So this will be a detailed camera comparison between the OnePlus 60 and the Poco F1. Let's first get off with specs. So the Poco F1 comes with a 12 megapixel IMX363 sensor, which comes with f1.9 aperture, and along with that we have a 5 megapixel depth sensor with f2.0 aperture. The OnePlus 60 comes with a 60 megapixels IMX516 sensor at f1.7 aperture, along with a secondary 20 megapixel sensors again with f1.7 aperture. The rear camera on the OnePlus 60 is optically stabilized, while the one on the Poco F1 is not. And if you flip the device, the Poco F1 comes with a 20 megapixel front camera with f2.0 aperture, while the OnePlus 60 comes with a 60 megapixel camera with f2.0 aperture. Now right off the bat, you will notice that the photos from the OnePlus 60 are warmer than the Poco F1, making the 60's photos more pleasing to the eyes. The 60's photos are also slightly more contrasty than the F1, making it look more lively and vibrant in most cases, but it does not overdo it by any means. You will also notice that the Poco F1 struggles a little bit when it comes to autofocus in some of the macro shots, while the 60 does pretty well, as evident from the flower petals in this particular shot. The HDR is pretty aggressive on the OnePlus 60, while it is way more subtle on the Poco F1 for my liking. The dynamic range is actually better on the OnePlus 60, while the Poco F1 just blows off the background in most cases, like in this particular photo. Not that the 60 photos are perfect, but they were a tad better than the F1 in terms of evenly exposing the backgrounds while maintaining decent amount of exposure on the foreground. If you zoom in a bit, you'll notice that the photos from the 60 appears to have a lot more detail than the Poco F1, but that's mostly because there is a bit of over sharpening going on with the 60, and this was a trend that followed up during my entire testing, like in this picture where the patterns on the tires are more apparent on the 60's photo than the F1. When it comes to portrait shots, both the phones actually came really close in my opinion. The Poco F1 actually does better in terms of edge detection, while the 60's photos is again more pleasing to the eye and more balanced when it comes to exposure levels. If you zoom into my genes in this particular picture, you'll notice that the Poco F1 failed to bring out any sort of detail, while the 60 again did pretty good. In terms of selfie portraits, the Poco F1 again came really close, but the bokeh effect on the 60 is more natural in my opinion, and I'm really impressed with the Poco F1 here as well. So this picture for me was more of a tie. When we move to low light conditions, however, this is where the Poco F1 really starts to struggle. It has difficulties in autofocusing, which is why a lot of shots came blurry. The 60 on the other hand stood rock solid in most cases and captured enough amount of light thanks to that f1.7 aperture against the f1.9 aperture on the F1. Sure, there is noise in most photos, but the 60 does a far better job of reducing it than the Poco F1. In terms of portraits in low light, both the phones failed to come up with a good portrait shot. In fact, the 60 even ignored the portrait blur in some cases, but nevertheless the 60 clearly wins it by a mile when it comes to low light shots as a whole bigger picture. Now let me quickly show you some video samples from both the phones so that you have an idea about video stabilization as well as the audio capture. So guys, this part of the footage has been shot by the both Poco F1 and the OnePlus 60. I'm walking right now, so you must have got an idea about the stabilization. So both the OnePlus 60 and Poco F1 can shoot videos at 4K, but OnePlus 60 can shoot at 60 FPS as well, whereas the Poco F1 cannot shoot at 60 FPS. It can only shoot up till 30 FPS. So for now, you must have got an idea about the audio capture and the video stabilization. So let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. So this was the whole camera comparison between the OnePlus 60 and the Poco F1. And as you saw, the Poco F1 can shoot some really good pictures, and it came really close to OnePlus 60 when shooting outdoors. And and it also took some really good portrait shots in my opinion. But when we look at the bigger picture, the Poco F1 photos lack that extra amount of details and sharpness that OnePlus 60 offered every single time. And when we move to the low light photography, the Poco F1 simply fall off the ground, and the OnePlus 60 took the cake every single time. And when we talk about the video, I thought the Poco F1 would not do that great, and it actually outperformed my expectations. But again, the lack of features like shooting at 60 FPS and some other quirks just increase the gap when we talk about the camera between these phones. So what I want to tell you guys through this video is that the camera on the Poco F1 is not really that bad. Actually, it's one of the best when we take price into consideration. But when we keep it against the likes of the OnePlus 60, it is not just up there for me. Sure, they have a similar specs under the hood, and it also might have some extra features. But when we talk about the camera, the OnePlus 60 is far more ahead in the game, and I guess that's where the price difference comes into the picture. So guys, this was my quick camera comparison between the OnePlus 60 and the Poco F1. I hope you like this one. Do let us know in the comment section below if you like this format apart from the reviews we do every week. And lastly, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, so that we can make more such videos for you in future as well. So till then, this has been Nirupam from TQnet signing off.